How you guys doing? I have another review for you. One I've been meaning to get around to for a little while, so I finally had a few minutes and wanted to bust it out for you. So, I am reviewing a Bruce Wee concert scale pineapple ukulele, model number BWUW15. So this is an all solid wood piece, spruce top, and some really nice flamed maple for the back and sides. It's got some nice striping, nice figuring to the wood, and what else? Rosewood fretboard, rosewood bridge, rosewood veneer on the headstock, and then as you can see, it's got some inlay work to it as well. Starting from the bottom, some nice little vine abalone added, some rope binding going up, hibiscus flower for the sound hole, also inlay on the fretboard, inlay on the top. Ohana means family. I added this myself. This was an addition. Everything else was what I bid on off of eBay. So this was $60 additional. It's got a sound port, and then inlay on the back, that same rope binding. 160 bucks with shipping for a solid wood instrument. I think it's a great value. It's a great deal. That spruce top, it's got a nice little punchy sound to it. So some of you already know who Bruce Wee is and what his story is. So he's a luthier out of Vietnam. This is where this instrument was made. He works in Vietnam, lives in Vietnam, and these are solid wood pieces. So a lot of people out there in the past, they've had issues with these things cracking on them because they're all solid wood, and depending on where they live in the world, and depending on what their climate is like, they aren't ideal. It's not an ideal condition for a solid wood instrument. They don't put it in a hard case. They don't humidify it, and the thing ends up cracking and breaking on them. Then they're out the money, and they're out a ukulele. So just take that into consideration. Depending on where you live, you may need to get a hard case and a humidifier for it in order to keep it playable. I live in Northern California. I mean, the weather, it's NorCal. It's the weather can't be beat. So for a solid wood instrument, it's ideal conditions for this thing. But somewhere else in the world, somewhere else in America, it may be a different story. So just take that in consideration, because you do have to buy these things sight unseen. You can't. He only does his retailing off of his eBay page. So you have to either buy it or you have to bid on it. So you don't get a chance to put it in your hand and play it and get a feel for it. So that's a downside. You're taking a chance. But from my experience with these, this is a nice value. It's a good value for a solid wood instrument. Fit and finish, I had some issues. It's got some issues. On an eBay app, you're looking at this thing, you're like, sweet, this thing is lovely. With the fine-tooth comb up front, you're gonna run into some issues. So first off, the inlay work. So I don't know if you can see, but you might notice there's some yellowing in and around the inlay. I don't know if it comes through on the camera. Right there. There's a little bit of yellowing. So that's a staining. I don't know if it was, a reaction to the wood when they were inlaying, or I don't know what happened, but somehow this thing got stained. So, it's a cosmetical issue. It doesn't change the playability or the sound or anything like that. So just be prepared that you may have some cosmetic flaws. Another issue I had was the fretboard. The frets weren't sticking out completely to where they were jagged and they hurt your hand as you're playing up and down the neck, but you can definitely feel them protruding from the backside of the binding. So you may run into the same issue. Just keep that in mind. The action was high for me, so I took my needle files and took it down a little bit. You may want to do the same. But for a solid wood instrument, it's got rosewood binding, rosewood bridge, fretboard, rosewood veneer on the headstock, some nice sealed geared tuners. You know, I mean, for 160 bucks, that, you know, for a solid wood instrument that looks like it's a customized piece, it's a great deal. Sound wise, that spruce really comes out. Yeah, I mean, it's got a good sound. It projects really nicely compared to, you know, I got a call a laminate concert. This thing blows it out of the water sound wise. The strings, I haven't switched them out yet, but I will eventually. They're, you know, they say they're strung up with Aquila strings or Aquilas. They don't feel like Aquilas to me. They're a little sticky, and I think maybe I might put some fluorocarbons on, maybe some Living Waters or some Worth fluorocarbons. So that might change it. But again, 160 bucks, solid wood, inlay work, sound hole, sound ports, sealed tuners. Man, this thing is the deal. So again, Richard Bruce Way concert, Pineapple BW UW15 off of eBay, 160 bucks. Take a shot, take a chance. I think it's a great deal. So yeah, thanks for watching.